So Disney has their hotels along with Universal Studios. But could Six Flags be up next getting into the hospitality and accommodation industry by getting their own branches of hotels? Well, we're going to explore here a little bit and dive in to see why am I bringing up this topic here today in this special episode of the Single Q podcast. Let's dive right into it. I just wanted to say, those who are watching the podcast via YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. Also, the podcast is available via audio on all major podcast platforms. So diving right into this here. The reason why I'm bringing up this topic here today on the special Single Q podcast, there are no guests here on this episode, but the reason I bring this up because according to Six Flags investors, they have hired a new individual on their board of directors. That individual is Marilyn Spiegel. I believe I'm saying her name right. Correct me, somebody, if I'm wrong. But Marilyn Spiegel has a huge background in the hospitality, the gaming space. And when I say gaming, I'm not talking about video games. I'm talking about gambling gaming. So a little bit about Marilyn Spiegel. So Six Flags officially put out the statement of this hiring of Marilyn Spiegel to the board of directors by stating that we are delighted to welcome Marilyn to Six Flags, according to Ben Baldanza, who is the non-executive chairman of the board. Further stating that her experience spanning over 3 decades in the hotel and entertainment industries will provide the company with valuable insight and guidance as we seek to elevate the guest experience and deliver long-term profitable growth. Interesting if I do say so the least. Why do I say that's interesting? Because he mentions insight and guidance to improve the guest experience. I guess that makes sense alone because, you know, when you have casinos and you have hotels, you know, guests usually should be happy, especially in big, you know, hotels on the caliber that she's worked in Las Vegas. So, but it also makes me think, they do have, you know, Six Flags Great Escape, and they have the whole hotel lodge thing going on. But it makes me really think and ponder, what if Six Flags did expand, or they're interested in expanding into the hotel industry? You know, it could be a thing. I think it's very helpful and is needed because a lot of these hotels, for example, when I went to, for those who aren't watching here on YouTube and just strictly listening to the podcast via audio, I'm showing my Six Flags Great Adventures El Toro shirt that I didn't get to ride, which I'm hurt on, but it's okay. It's okay. But when I went out to Six Flags Great Adventure, it's super far. There were no major hotels. At the time that I went there on opening day of the 2021 season, they were looking toward, there was a really close hotel that was being built, but there was no major hotel there within the vicinity. So you had to travel quite a distance to get there. I'm talking about getting something within walking distance in the Six Flags name that they could combo tickets if they'd like and have it all inclusive. Keep it in-house, keep everything right by each other is what I'm saying. I think it's a really good idea. Universal Studios Resort, Disneyland Resort, Walt Disney World Resort, all these resorts have hotel accommodations, shopping, and then the theme parks. Why isn't Six Flags getting in on this? I think they really could. With them being the world's largest regional theme park chain out there, I'm sure they can make some moves. I know, they're not Disney or Universal as far as finances, but they got some change out there that they could expand and they could make some things happen. So I think it's an interesting concept. And further on stating with this article, and I'll leave it in the description down below too in the show notes, they went further in stating in this article that the addition of Marilyn to Six Flags board with her extensive track record in the hospitality industry and her experience overseeing operations with significant real estate portfolios is a positive development for Six Flags shareholders. Significant real estate portfolios. Why would they be interested in that? Are they expanding or thinking about expanding to new parks? So they're thinking about real estate, but more so with her background in entertainment, more so hospitality with the hotels, casinos. Are they thinking about really going into getting into the hotel chains, making it Six Flags Resort? Does that not sound glamorous? That could be an interesting concept. Now, I think it is a really cool idea for them to get into, and why not grow? It's a new time, a new CEO, a new CEO already. Man, I think the CEO, people have their words about him and they say a lot about him. They have their thoughts about him. I understand, especially with a lot of the things that have occurred. We're not going to get into that. And I haven't really touched on that period on this channel or on my podcast at all. At all, I haven't. But you all know. If you haven't, go do your research. Other channels, other podcasts, stories on this and cover their thoughts on it. We'll leave it there. Go do your research. But he could be taking his time. Just saying, could be taking his time and could make some interesting moves, such as making some theme parks. I could see a Magic Mountain, a Great Adventure, a Great America, Fiesta Texas have their own hotels nearby. And even Six Flags Over Georgia, my home local park, they do have partnerships. They could possibly just buy those outright. They could just buy those outright and make those Six Flags hotels. Have it a Six Flags resort. People could come in, redecorate them, deck them out. People could come in, stay there, get special ticket packages, go to the park. It's a beautiful thing. I think it's a cool idea because a lot of people travel from out of town. We'll stay on Six Flags Over Georgia here for a second, my home local park. Now, this is local to the southeast, of the United States. This is their Six Flags park. So a lot of people travel from Tennessee if they're not going to Dollywood, but we're saying for Six Flags. People travel from Tennessee, from Alabama, from Florida, from Arkansas, what have you. People travel, and I see a lot of the license plates when the park opens, which is going to open up very, very shortly at the time of this recording for the 2023 season. But people travel to go to Six Flags Over Georgia. People travel to go to Valencia, to Six Flags Magic Mountain. People travel to go to these other parks. Why not keep the profit and have Six Flags hotels? Now, me reading this article to you all and sharing this is interesting to me once again, because for one, it could happen. Two, it's a good idea. Three, why not? Why not? Other chains are doing it. Why not get in on the game if you can? Again, the world's largest regional theme park company and the largest operator of water parks in North America. I'm sure you have some money in the bank. I know you had the whole credit that you took out with the debt from the pandemic. Hopefully that's being paid off. Disney's already in surplus. I know we're not comparing the two, but you having the name backing world's largest, regional theme park company, gotta throw in some profit in there. So if you do have the profit in the bank, go ahead and expand on theme parks, additional parks. Don't go crazy like you did back in the day, a few decades back, but expand in some hotels. At least hit a few of your major ones. You're at top of the chain, your higher chain, theme parks that you have. Your Magic Mountains, once again, Fiesta Texas, Great America, Great Adventure, the likes of those. At least start with those. Again, you have Great Escape out there. I don't know the numbers. I could look it up. It could be doing well, but it's still around. You could add more of it. And even smaller hotels, such as I mentioned, Six Flags Over Georgia has next door. Capitalize on that. Why not? Why not? It's a great idea. But let's pause here for a moment. If you guys are enjoying yourself, make sure you guys smash that like button here on YouTube. Hit that follow button as well. Just also give a nice review all across the, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, all the major audio platforms for podcasts out there, all the major podcast platforms. The Q Podcast is out there. Make sure you guys show some love. I would greatly appreciate it. It means the world. Let's get back into this here for a second. And also, I do want to know in the comment section down below what you all think about Six Flags expanding into the hotel chain business. Also, where would you like to see a hotel be placed? And how would you go about doing it? If you were the CEO, I want to know, what would you all do to bring hotels nearby? And what Six Flags park really needs it? Let me know in the comment section down below. But I want to, go into Marilyn Spiegel's background here a little bit as far as what she's done in the industry, which is 3 decades worth, which is a long time. That's a long time. Young kids out there, a decade is 10 years. A decade is 10 years for those who don't know. But hers spans over 3 decades worth of time, a time frame. So let me share a little bit more on her background here a little bit. Okay, so Marilyn Spiegel, as we know, is accomplished. Yes, so she's accomplished in the gaming and hospitality industry as an executive with over 3 decades of experience, as I mentioned, in the entertainment industry. She has served as the president of 7 distinctive Las Vegas casinos and entertainment properties, which honestly is huge, especially out there in Vegas. That's pretty big. That major. She has served as the president, where she was responsible for day-to-day operations at Wynn Las Vegas and Encore, Harrah's, I believe I'm saying that right, Harrah's Las Vegas, Rio All Suite Hotel, Bally's Paris Las Vegas, and Planet Hollywood. And she was the first female leader to run a major Las Vegas casino and entertainment resort. So right off the bat, with her, record, her resume, her repertoire that she has in the canon, I think she's qualified for this. Obviously so. She was put on the board of directors, but I'm saying if they are going to expand into hotels, they got a good person for it, a good individual that is highly qualified. And I think it would be a great move for them to do it. And I think the time to strike is now. Now, when everybody's sleeping on you. I don't know what other things they have in the chamber as far as what they're working on. I know they were expanding out, overseas to other parks, building another glamorous theme park out there, which I don't really know much on that, but I plan to come out with a video on that because it was stated to come out in 2023, but no word really on it. They released like a rendering, a trailer thing on it, but nothing really has come about of that since. I don't know. But why not get into hotels? Why not? She's the perfect person, and I know they know that. Once again, going back with them saying that she provides valuable insight and guidance, with them looking to elevate their growth. Elevating growth, adding hotels to me is growth. If it goes well, if it goes right, that's a different market that you haven't really tapped into. And again, I say haven't really because of, Great Escape Lodge. You haven't really tapped into hotels. Disneyland Resort, Walt Disney World Resort. All these resorts out there in the world. And Universal Studios Resort. They're out there. Six Flags Resort could have a nice ring to it. Make it happen. Why not? Make it happen. But again, that's really all I have to say on this topic of Six Flags possibly expanding into the hotel industry. It's kind of left up in the air as far as if that's the case or what's going to happen, but I don't think we're necessarily going to see anything come about of this. If this is the case, at least not this year, 2023, or maybe even 2024. Maybe at the tail end of 2024. I'm not really big on giving predictions, but obviously something's in the works. Or just the whole guest experience thing. I don't really see her contributing to the company as board of directors of just helping the guest experience at the parks. That could be the case. That could be implemented and that could be helpful. Yes, indeed. But she could, just be throwing something on her resume. But I don't feel like something like this, someone of her caliber, she would just tack this on her resume. Yes, indeed. That could be, but I feel like why not utilize her skill set of expanding into hotels, whether it be anywhere. It could be a Six Flags hotel in another country. It could be something of the sort. It could work. But better yet, scale it back down to regional parks. Just have them nearby, Six Flags parks. You could build them, but you don't even have to go that far yet. You could just, buy out these other smaller hotels, revamp them, redecorate them, reimagine them, and then have them nearby as a Six Flags resort type of ordeal. It could work. It could work. But let me all know in the comment section down below what you all think. Do you think that it's a good idea for Six Flags to get into the hotel chain business, to make it into a resort? Tapping into the hospitality and accommodation industry. Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, where would you put a hotel at near a Six Flags park? Also, let me know in the comment section down below. Again, thank you all so much for watching and listening. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, make sure you guys do that. Also, make sure you leave a nice review or comment across the audio platform of your choosing. And also follow them. Check them out, again, on all major podcast platforms. Thank you all so much for watching. Till my next video, podcast, episode, or adventure. Take care, be well, and have a thrilling day.